The Tomb of Sennedjem. Sennedjem lived in Deir el-Medina, or the Place of Truth, on the west bank of the Nile. His titles included servant in the Place of Truth, meaning that he worked on the excavation and decoration of the nearby royal tombs. He was also allowed to create and decorate his own tomb, and the result of his spare time labor is magnificent to this day. The end wall shows Sennedjem's view of his afterlife, evidently as a farmer reaping corn, ploughing with oxen, and growing fruit on heavily laden fruit trees in an orchard. He is accompanied throughout by his faithful wife Nefertari. The farm is surrounded by streams of water. This view of heaven is all the more poignant when you realize that he had spent his life living in the arid desert where Deir el-Medina was situated on the west bank. So, heaven to him might well be as shown on the walls of the tomb, with food and water in abundance. The top register shows RaHorakhte-Atum, Lord of the Two Lands, Kheper, the rising sun, in the solar barque, attended by the baboons who howled at sunrise and sunset each day, and so were considered sacred. The opposite end wall shows Sennedjem and Iy-neferti worshipping some 13 gods, with Osiris and Ra-Horakhte, Horus in the horizon, an amalgam of Horus and Ra, leading each row. The two rows may therefore have corresponded with gods of the Duat or underworld and gods of the everyday world of Kemet. Anubis performing mummification rites over the mummy of the Pharaoh Seti I, who is stretched out on an elaborate lion bed. This would be a copy of the work that Sennedjem had carried out in Seti I's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. There is also a version of this in the tomb of Nefertari, Ramesses II's great wife. Sennedjem served both pharaohs. Sennedjem lived during the 19th dynasty, under the reign of Pharaoh Sethy I in the first years of Ramesses II. He was buried in the chamber of his tomb probably around year 11 of the reign of Ramesses. After 3,000 years of peaceful rest, his burial was, alas for him and his family, discovered in 1886. Tomb is an exceptional monument, one of the most beautiful and better preserved tomb of Thebes. But it is, besides, a perfect example, complete and typical of a tomb for a great family, with the 4 regular components, a courtyard and chapel accessible to the living, a well shaft and a chamber reserved for the dead. If you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.